العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور. اللهم ما أصبح بي من نعمة أو بأحد من خلقك ومنك وحدك لا شريك لك لك الحمد ولك الشكر. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. My dear brothers and sisters, alhamdulillah, indeed, all praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the owner of the heavens and the earth and everything in it, including our lives. So He gave us this chance again to come back consciousness, because death is nothing but, in clinical terms, if you're not conscious, if you don't know, even though your organs may be working, but that is considered to be dead. And so if we remember last time I was here, and I'm really fearful when I come here, but I was scheduled, I could not help it, but I could not inform ahead of time. So just as a revision, last time we discussed about the critical questions that we will be asked once we depart from this. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Kullu nafsin zaiqatul maut." Every soul shall taste death, everything living shall taste death. And then we, and mashallah, the recitation. Why was it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what we have never come across? This will be the Yawmiddin, beautiful, for those good and bad. Now is the chance, right? So we discussed the preliminary questions. We said there is going to be first three questions, and then the final 5 questions. Can somebody help me with the first 3? Ma? Thank you, brother. Ma Rabbu. The second question? What was your deen? The third question? Which Sharia did it belong to? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah, once we go through that, then we will be confronted, as according to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the feet of Bani Adam will not move unless they will be confronted with these 5 questions. What did you do with your life? You lived, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, you have to account for what did you do. Start listening. And we said, if people, of course, in our life, in our weaknesses, oh, Ya Allah, I went and educated myself, I did this, and I had a home, I had a car, I had this, I had that. All that will be actually a negative. It will be a devil, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already know what He gave. On that day, each day is equal to 1,000 years. He will ask you about everything. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us, that will be a question. What did you do with your life? Within this life, amazingly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking about what is missing in our minds. What was that? Who's missing among us? The youth. Allah will ask you, because that is the time when you have the power. When you are young, you do not have the senses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is exempting that. And then when you get old, you can probably do as much. But this part of the youth, what did you do with that when I gave you the strength to do all the good? And then comes in, how did you earn your living? This Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving, is already written. And one that comes to my mind, example, I was not supposed to dwell on this one, but let's just quickly. Ali radiallahu ta'ala was traveling somewhere. And he had to stop, so what he did, I believe it was his horse's saddle, he gave it to somebody to look after so he can pray and come back. When he comes back, the saddle is gone, the man is gone. It does happen sometimes in our countries. We go give it somebody near the masjid, you keep it, the slippers or shoes, if it's expensive, both of them are missing. And subhanAllah, he went into the market, he found the very same thing. And when he bought that bag, he said, I wish that man was there, because this is what I was going to give it to him for safekeeping. And that person, he has earned haram, which was halal coming to him. This is how life is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is already written. It is the ajal that we think we can get away with it. And then we make it whatever is halal into haram. Leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be patient if it is difficult. And then, how did you spend it? What did you do with the money? Right? Nowadays, I hear that there's a special event going on in the world. Yeah, Sheikh? Are you following those events? إن هذه الحياة الدنيا إلا لهو ولعب. If it was stopped there, yeah, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you created this, game and play. I'm watching the game, the big game. I believe everybody is gripped into this, especially the Muslim world. The biggest event, subhanAllah, billions of dollars being spent on that one. And I'm not going to get into, whether they did it right or wrong, but it could have been a country built in some of the poorer countries, a country completely just for the lahab al-layb. Well, baqiyat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, but the real thing is baqiyat al-salihat. That is real, that you can carry with you in the hereafter. Because that's what will be asked. Oh Allah, you spent several $billions, built so many stadiums, while people are getting hungry. When it comes to hunger, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask amazingly, just so spread in the Quran. It is just amazing to see why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because in one of the narrations, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah will ask you, why did you not feed me when I came to you hungry? Ya Allah, you are the Raziq. You feed the unseen, from the insects to the largest of the animals. You are the one who feed the humanity, the birds and everything and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remind you, such and such was hungry and you did not even care to feed. وَلَا يَحُضُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Woe on their prayer, those who do not feed the hungry. This is the reality, that there are people actually today, a vast majority of the people are dying of hunger. Children, adults, everybody dying of hunger, but our concentration and mind is somewhere else, completely taken away from that hunger. If not, we would be concentrating on trying to feed the hungry and taking care of them. And then, what did you do with the knowledge? Did you just, read the hadith for barakah? Did you read the Quran for blessing and you carried on? Or did that sink into your mind and heart and you started applying in your life? Those will be so difficult questions. And then, like the Imam was reading, you will be given the account of it. Here you go. In one hand, the other one will get in the other hand. The account is closed now. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the decision. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to get our amal in our right hand. By His mercy, may Allah forgive all the evil, all the wrong that we have done by His mercy. But we got to be conscious. We got to be conscious of the fact. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. It is the very nature that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created death and life, so that we may know which one of us have done the right or the wrong. That is the issue. In order to help this, Allah Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, and I will conclude with this, 5 before 5. It is as though Allah Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as we discussed, this life, this test is an amazing test that put forth by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He has said, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is the book you read it about your own self. And this is what will come in the test. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you the questions, gave us the answers, everything. All He's going to do is ask about those. And so the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, take 5 before 5. Take benefit of 5 before 5. Your youth before your old age. If we have lost our youth, people like me, it is very little time that we need to catch up. We should not let go any moment wherein we turn to Allah and do something good for the sake of Allah, because that will be the only thing that we will be taking with us. Otherwise, we will be taking a big negative account before your health before your sickness. We have seen a couple of years ago how drastic it was. Even now, after so many years, we thought it would go away in 3 months, we thought it would go away in a year, 2 years. But those who work in the medical field and those who are vegan, we all go with the mask. We are all being masked. Why? Because it is very possible that you and I and everybody else can get sick. Allah prevent, because these are new diseases that are coming that has never been there before. New ones. your wealth before your poverty. It is possible that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you something today, He might take it away. So when you have it, what did you use it with it? Did you buy some vacation tickets to an expensive thing? Lahu wal-aib? Or did you really went in and spend for the sake of Allah, for the unruly, the needy, the destitute, all of those, and the free time before you are preoccupied? One question that I always struggle with is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask about the time. Oh Allah, I was busy. When the boss calls us, no matter how busy we are, we know our boss is calling. Forget about it, man. This is him calling. In this dunya, do we say, hey, boss, I'm busy, I can't come. Forget about what you were doing, come back now. In this dunya. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what did you do? Oh yeah, Allah, I was busy. Where do I get it from? The brother who was struggling, and he will be there again. Last Sunday he was here. And the brother who, one of the things again, my dear brothers and sisters, if we were to follow the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah, we would never go wrong. We can never go wrong. He used to know the lady who came and cleaned the masjid, he was, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he knew. How many of us know? When we come in here with those fall leaves, where did they go? What happened? Overnight there were some angels that came and cleaned it up. Did somebody came in and just put everything together? Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you take care of a tinga of zarra, Allah will multiply that like a mountain and say, this is what you did, subhanAllah. You only picked up a piece of paper from the masjid to clean it, and Allah will multiply that to a mountain. This is what we should be conscious about. And he was struggling. He said, I'm not going to repeat what he said. Because the moment I looked at his face, he was very different. He's always broad, smiling and waving me. He said like this. I rushed to him, what is the matter, brother? I've never seen you like this. He said, well, never mind, brother. I think, enough of this place. I can go and do work in so many places and people will respect me. I said, brother. And then only 2 people, others who came to help him. How often do we go and offer, brother, it's okay. I'm going to come in and help you. And when you see something, you don't even have to know anybody. Whatever little you can do, just do it. This is the only time we have. This day is gone. Tomorrow, it's already reduced. You can never make it up. This is the nature of our lives. If we are conscious of the fact that death can come to us at any time. Now is the time for me to do something why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me the help. You are preoccupied in your life before your death, because in the field of work, people will say, brother, they get motivated, I want to join with you in the dawah and do this and that. And then, okay, well, so, we have this meeting or we have this event coming up. Brother, I can only come on Thursday between 5 and 6. And on Saturday, maybe 4 hours. And Sundays, I have my own. So, tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I only had this Thursday. He's the one who gave you life. I only have 3 hours in between. That's the only time I can give you for the sake of Allah. We can't answer those questions. We better never come up with that. Ask Allah's forgiveness, that, oh Allah, forgive me for not doing this, but take it a point that it is our weakness that we are not doing it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us on the straight path. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين